So because you're a geek of some sort, you either have or are gunning for something like this, or even this. But I'm here to tell you that there are several other options out there, some unsung heroes that you either don't know about or are just a wee bit underrated. And first up, let's start off with the unsung selfie hero. And I'm talking about the Vivo V5 Plus. And as painful as browsing our social media feeds with endless selfies can be, most of us have taken a selfie. And we all know that it can take dozens of shots before you get that perfect duck face. And for all you selfie aficionados out there, the Vivo 5 Plus is a device you may want to consider. It has a 16 megapixel shooter on the rear, but that's not where the V5 Plus shines. On the front is a dual camera setup with a primary sensor of 20 megapixels and an 8 megapixel secondary to bring an additional depth of field information. In other words, you get incredible sharpness and rich detail due to the primary's higher than average pixel count, and the secondary sensor allows you to achieve that highly desirable bokeh effect, which is how you get the creamy blurred background behind a subject that's perfectly in focus. Now this phone also has an aluminum unibody design with a 5.5-inch display, a Hi5 audio chip, and Vivo's own FunTouch 3.0 Android skin. After a quiet launch of last year, the Vivo 5 Plus is available for around $400 US, but the cost of importing the device may drive the cost up considerably since it's not officially available in the US at this time. It may be worth the trouble with slightly unimpressive specs, but in the hands of someone with a selfie addiction, the Vivo V5 Plus is priceless. Now let's move on to where power and design shamelessly converge in the Xiaomi Mi Note 2. Fortunately, the Mi Note 2's resemblance to the Galaxy Note 7 is more than just skin deep. Unfortunately, Xiaomi didn't use the QHD display like Samsung did on the Note 7, they used the Full HD 1080p display. But the Mi Note 2 does run a Snapdragon 821 CPU, an Adreno 530 GPU, 6GB of RAM, and 128GB of onboard storage. Our own benchmarks show that the Mi Note 2 has an outstanding performance, meaning the power users among us should have no issues running the latest apps and games. It can appease photography enthusiasts too, with a 22.5 megapixel rear camera and a somewhat less impressive 8 megapixel front-facing shooter. But one of the most polarizing features of Asian-made Android phones is the distinctive software. Many Asian OEMs put an iOS-like skin over Android, and Xiaomi is no exception. While the consensus seems to be that Xiaomi's skin has been getting better over time, the development community has gained root access to the Mi Note 2, so you're not stuck with Xiaomi's skin necessarily. Also, like other Asian-made Android phones, the main issue with the Mi Note 2 seems to be access. Since it's not officially offered in the West yet, you'll need to be motivated to get your hands on the Note 7 lookalike. But for those who put in the legwork, the Mi Note 2 features LTE bands that make it usable in virtually any market. Now next up, let's talk about a phone that still provides a great media experience. And I'm talking about the HTC 10, and I'll tell you why. It has an impressive all-metal build with a dramatic chamfer that lent to a more dramatic appearance as well as great in-hand feel and usability. For those who find phablets too big and unwieldy, the HTC 10's 5.2-inch QHD display hits that sweet spot. But what made the HTC 10 a compelling option for 2016, and what continues to make the HTC 10 a viable contender, is the multimedia experience that it offers. In addition to the boom sound speaker setup, the HTC 10 offers high-res audio processing with a 24-bit DAC. Coupled with display resolution at 1440p, the HTC 10 is a beast when it comes to media. Whether you're listening to music, watching movies, or even just watching me on YouTube, you really see all the time and effort HTC put into the HTC 10. And let's not forget that the 10's primary camera ranks among the top smartphone cameras to date, receiving the same score as the brand new Samsung Galaxy S8, and being beaten only by the Google Pixel and the new HTC U11. Now let's talk about the jack of all trades, the Meizu Pro 6 Plus. Considering it's running one of the top CPUs of last year, it goes without saying that the Meizu Pro 6 Plus is a strong performer, and rather than being another iPhone ripoff in terms of design, it's almost like Meizu took a more Frankenstein approach, borrowing design cues from a number of other devices. For instance, the vertically oriented rear camera and circular LED flash are reminiscent of the Axon 7, but the aluminum unibody design evokes the OnePlus 3 while still being faithful to the design of Honor's other devices. Now, this device is available in Asian markets for just over $500, but as with other entries on this list, it's not too difficult to have one shipped to you in the US from abroad. Now, 3.5 years ago, if you guys remember, I predicted that Chinese manufacturers would dominate the market, especially the mid-tier market, and that has happened, and it will continue. The onward march will happen, and case in point, my daughter, my beloved daughter, is now burned through 4 iPhones. The most recent one was dropped down an elevator shaft by accident, and well, it's gone, and we're not buying her a 5th iPhone. We're gonna buy her something like this that's far more affordable, and if it gets lost or broken again, it doesn't quite as hurt as much. Fewer and fewer people want to buy the $1,200 it costs to buy a new Samsung Galaxy S8 or more in some cases. What do you think? Are you more apt to buy a mid-tier device like this? I think more and more people will be. Let me know in the comments below or on the Twitterverse. Meet Jeremy Shoemaker, otherwise known as Shoe Money, and he became famous for this photo where he showed off a check that he made from Google AdSense. And he's become so good at making online businesses that he made an announcement that he does not start a new business unless he can secure the business's name in a .com. Now, why is that exactly? Well, no domain name extension tells your story with the same degree of trust as a .com or .net domain name. .com and .net domain name extensions inject credibility into your online presence. And who doesn't want to be credible? And don't forget, you get 15% off when you use our coupon code ANDROID. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Wait, before you go, I wanted to tell you that today's show is based on an article written on AndroidAuthority.com by Dane O'Leary. And man, is this man a wordsmith. Sweet words, really good writing, and almost everything I said was from the article. I really loved it. I couldn't say it better myself, so I used it and I wanted to give him credit. Way to go, Dane. Go read the man's stuff on AndroidAuthority.com.